And she wanna be a drop top chick when she riding. But baby, I remember when
Yo, what's up everyone, it's Blue Nova. I'm here to bring you guys a new tutorial on how to get vocal quality like Lil Spirit in his song, Drop Top B Word. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, hit the bell notification icon so that you're notified every time there's a new video, and also thumbs up the video. So I'm gonna show you guys what I did. This tutorial is gonna be more so focused with using Waves plugins. And I guess you guys are actually going to be looking forward to it because a lot of you guys been wanting some Waves based tutorials. So what I'm going to do is turn off all these effects right here, and I'm going to run through the process. So the first thing we're going to do is have some auto tune in our voice, just to correct some of these notes that I didn't hit. And the retune speed, I kept around 10. You can keep it a little bit less depending on your voice and if you hit every note naturally. So the key, I have it on D flat, the scale major, and the input type, have it on soprano male voice. Soprano voice. So once you have that, we're gonna play the vocal, and I'm gonna right click and solo it, just so that you know we're just working with the lead vocal. And let's go ahead and go in and highlight it. Let's go ahead and highlight this part right here. So all this right here is the lead vocal.
And she wanna be a drop top chick when she riding. But baby, I remember when you wouldn't even try it. Got a couple missed calls, no service, I was flying.
So now we have that, we're gonna move into the next thing. If you don't have Antares Autotune or my version, then all you have to do is just set the same thing in the picture, and which I did. And you can also get this vocal preset with my lead vocals inside. So you guys will have something to play with whenever you're trying to emulate the same quality. The next thing we're gonna move into is the R compressor by Waves. Now, what we're gonna do is compress our vocals to make sure everything is very consistent in sound. So what I went ahead and did was brought the attack to 14.9 and my release to 75.5, because I just naturally like to bring my release a little bit low whenever I'm using the compressor. And my ratio, I kept it at 2.21, and my threshold, I bring my threshold down to where my vocal is hitting the lowest part of the vocal. So this one I'm going to show you guys.
And she wanna be a drop top chick when she riding. But baby, I remember when you wouldn't even try it. Got a couple missed calls, no service, I was flying.
So you can see the vocals are actually being pushed a little bit further than the lowest part of the vocal point. And that can be fine sometimes. All we're doing is aiming for consistency, and that's what a compressor is doing. I just wouldn't recommend blasting your threshold all the way down to right here. That's, you know, you're overdoing it at that point. So the next thing we're going to move into is the REQ6 by Waves. And just to show you guys, these are the settings that you do want to copy. And just to run through, as far as whenever I boost my vocals, I usually boost around 6 decibels around the 8K, 10K region. So you can see that's what I did. And as far as the frequency, you can see all of them are mapped right here. And you can see that I boosted right here in the 10K region. Just did some cutting in the low frequency region just to get rid of any of that low end muddiness. So this is what the vocals will sound like with the first EQ.
And she wanna be a drop top chick when she riding. But baby, I remember when you wouldn't even try it. Got a couple missed calls, no service, I was flying.
Now after that, we're gonna move into another EQ. The second EQ, I always usually use 2 EQs just to make sure I just boost and cut certain things that I didn't find in the first vocal EQ. So this is what I'm doing with this one. I rolled off a little bit more with the low end just to clear out anything that may pass through in the first one, and then also boosting a little bit more in the high end region so that we get the high end clarity in our vocal. So you can see all these frequencies just to save time. You see all these values as far as what I cut and as far as what I boosted. So this is what's gonna sound like with the second EQ.
And she wanna be a drop top chick when she riding. But baby, I remember when you wouldn't even try it. Got a couple missed calls, no service, I was flying.
So now that you hear that, we're gonna move into the next thing, which is gonna be de-esser. Now with de-esser, all we're doing is taking care of that sibilant. So as far as what I did, just brought down the threshold to where it's hitting the lowest part of the vocal, because we're just trying to make sure that we're getting a lot of that high sibilants taken care of. So I'm gonna play it and you guys will hear what it sounds like.
And she wanna be a drop top chick when she riding. But baby, I remember when you wouldn't even try it.
So now we have that. We're gonna move into the next thing, which is gonna be an L1 limiter. Now what we're doing is gonna bring the threshold down to -3. My starting point with most vocals usually are always -3. And that's because I always like to keep my vocals at -3 until I might go in and adjust the leveling. So I brought it down right here as far as the ceiling, and bring the threshold down to where it's hitting the lowest part of the vocal, because once I already EQ, all I'm going for is consistency. So this what is gonna sound like full and all together.
And she wanna be a drop top chick when she riding. But baby, I remember when you wouldn't even try it. Got a couple missed calls, no service, I was flying.
And the release right here, it just kept it right at 1.0, or actually 0.92. And we're gonna move to the next thing. So what I noticed in Lil Spirit's vocals, they actually sound a little bit soft. So what the C4 stereo is gonna do is basically a multi-band compressor. And what it's gonna do is take care of certain frequency ranges. And right here we have the low frequencies and the mid, higher mids, and the high end presence. So like I said, I noticed that comparing it back to the vocals, his vocals sound like it had a filtered kind of sound in the high end region. So we're gonna kill a little bit of those harmonics. So what I went ahead and did was set these frequency ranges, and these are very important to note because that's what separates the multi-band compression. So these are the markers that you want to have it at. Once you do that, I went ahead and just brought the threshold down to around -28, and right here at -13.9, -12, and right here killed all of it down to -80 because I didn't want too much of the low end to pass. So this was gonna sound like and look like.
And she wanna be a drop top chick when she riding.
So a lot of that's being compressed off right here.
But baby, I remember when you wouldn't even try it.
And right here, just basically acting as a ceiling.
Got a couple missed calls, no service, I was flying.
Same right here.
And I split a couple checks, fine dining. Yeah.
Now after that, we're gonna have the very last thing, which is an reverb stereo. And these are the settings that you wanna have. I brought my wet level very low. There's not a lot of reverb in his lead vocal. It's very minimal, so that's what I went ahead and did. As far as the EQ, you wanna make sure you're rolling off a lot. There's not a lot of high end presence in the reverb, so we're gonna kill a lot of that off. And as far as size of room, I turned it all the way to 100. And the time of it is very short, so you want to have it around 2.17. And diffusion, have that around 80.5. And the reverb damping, that's also very important. So make sure to keep all these frequencies and levels and values around to where I have it. So this was gonna sound like and look like.
And she wanna be a drop top chick when she riding. But baby, I remember when you wouldn't even try it. Got a couple missed calls, no service, I was flying.
Now we're gonna move into the vocal harmony. Now this is a very dope part in his vocals. I like how he has this cool ambience going on in the background, so we're gonna focus on that. The only difference in it, everything else is gonna be the same as the lead vocal, but you wanna make sure you're changing the reverb because there's a lot of reverb in those vocal harmonies, and these are the settings that I have, and it's gonna get you that presence. What's very important to note is when you're having vocal harmonies, you wanna make sure it sounds like it's in a different room. So I went ahead and changed the room size to around 60 and really just increased that wet dry level to around 66. So this is what's gonna sound like, and make sure to have the time of it is actually stretching for a little bit for a good amount of time, so just make sure that's increased. And having a doubler for stereo, so that's gonna make everything sound very wide. These are the settings. I went ahead and enabled all four of these voices right here, just so that we're getting that very wide stereo sound, and just cut to around 62 and boost it right here in the 4K, just to give it a little bit more presence when you hear the stereo sound of the doubler. So this is what the harmonies are gonna sound like, and I'm gonna go ahead and just select certain parts of it.
Yeah. See with me. Ooh. Love me. Love me. Ooh.
So yeah, that's pretty much what I did in order to get that same quality. Now what we're gonna do is turn on the instrumental and go to the master channel. I have a Fruity Convolver, which is basically an EQ that that cuts the entire mix at 15K. So basically brick wall EQ. If you don't have a Fruity Convolver, then you can use any kind of EQ that will cut your entire frequency at 15K. And having a Fruity Soft Clipper, that just makes sure everything doesn't go past 0 decibels. If you don't have a Fruity Soft Clipper, you can use anything that just stops it from going past 0 decibels. So you can use any kind of soft clipper. Now I'm gonna play the entire mix with the vocals and the instrumental.
And she wanna be a drop top chick when she riding. But baby, I remember when you wouldn't even try it. Got a couple missed calls, no service, I was flying. And I eat up, split a couple checks, fine dining. Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to get the vocal preset with my raw vocals inside, just so you guys have something to play with and practice with, you can get it on bluenovabeats.com. Just go to the store and click on the vocal presets tab, and thumbs up the video. Put in the comment section what you want to see next, and that's pretty much it. I'll catch you guys on the next video.
And she wanna be a drop top chick when she riding. But baby, I remember when you wouldn't even try it. Got a couple missed calls, no